All right, I think they're ready for us. You ready? Let's get it. So, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of We Got Next. I'm one of your hosts of the show, Hayes, aka Ayo Shippy. And if you notice right now, you see me at home, and Steven is on vacation right now. So there will be a lot of multitasking. You see the shirt. I told you I went to the party. We went to that WGN yacht party. We'll talk about that. I'm also on a spaces as well. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So I'll probably be going back and forth and I might pause for a second. Got a shout out to the homies at Cheddar Block Games. So any of them that end up listening to this or watching it later, they will end up seeing me multitasking on this as well. We got some interesting information at the end too. But what I want to end up doing, let's see if I can show you all this. Yeah, so you see it? So I got to shout out to the crew. So if they see this, they're going to end up seeing me talking and recording at the same time. So, but that's that. But what I want to end up doing is just saying thank you to everybody that watched our episode we had last week. This one won't be as long. I'm going to cover a good amount of NFT stuff. We'll cover the sports. A big trade happened today. Dejounte Murray is going to the Atlanta Hawks. That's a big thing. Gotta end up saluting my brother as well. He's out there in Italy. So much respect to him as well. It's a big thing for the family. So that's something else that I've been talking to my family about. The first one, I would say, I mean, my mom's gone over there when she was younger, but out of my brothers and I, he's the first one to head over there across the pond, and he's going to be there for a month. So safe travels to him. But just diving into everything, as everyone knows, last week I was in New York for Wednesday, Thursday, came back Friday. It was a very good experience. I said this on the Twitter space I had on Monday, but I want to say it here as well. Just want to end up giving my best wishes out to everybody that has COVID. I know some people personally that caught COVID out there. And if you all ever need anything and you're in there, just let me know. I'll end up helping you out. A lot of it did happen at the DGOTS event as well. So that's kind of why I feel bad for some of the people that end up getting it, especially when I was telling people, yo, you should definitely come. But I got to say salute to everyone that did go to the different events. The first day I got there, I went to the WGN yacht party. That's where I got that. You probably can check out the other video that is behind this one, and you'll be able to end up seeing what we ended up doing at the WGN yacht party. I did a recording while I was walking there too, so just tune into that. After the WGN yacht party, Thursday I went to OK Bears. I checked out Luxo and I checked out D-Gods. All different vibes, all different things. So OK Bears was a vibe, legit. They had lo-fi music. I got to end up talking to Subi for a little bit. Met a couple of cool ass people there too. Luxo was great. I got to see the family, the squad. Much love to them as always. And I got to hear Fabian speak. So that was something very big for me, being able to hear him talk and just realizing how early we are in terms of the digital fashion and digital world and blockchain. So if you don't know what Luxo is, I have previous videos that I did. I would also recommend following Alts Anonymous, Ethalorian, Kriegel's another one. Got a shout out to the family in CAD Crypto. Much love to you, especially for helping me get in to the panel and the event. So those are the big ones. Of course, you can also end up following Rocks. That's another one that I would recommend to anybody out there. And just so I don't leave anybody off the list, there's one more that I would recommend to anybody. And give me like 2 seconds and I'll be able to pull that up for you because I don't want to miss anybody in terms of this. Where are they? That's most of them. I just want to, it is XELA Burst. So Zila Burst. She does a lot as well. I got to meet her out there too. So it was good to end up seeing them, and I always love seeing more people in the family. So that was the big thing with those. Friday came back and then had my boys housewarming. So it's been a busy couple of days. I'm doing a write-up for different people that might be interested in hearing about my experiences in terms of what happened at NFT NYC. Another place you can end up checking it out is Bored Ape Solana Club. They're doing a write-up as well. So I'm excited to see what they're doing. Just diving into things. I have to start off by saying shout out to Cheddar Block Games. They will have their NFT minting in July. So next week, I'm excited to see that. They were also featured on Cody's video today. So Cody on Chain. And shout out to the homie Cody, because I did get to end up talking to him and hooking him and Easy up with we worked on a little thing so that one of them was able to end up getting it to DGod. So it was dope to end up seeing him too as we were just walking in. Got to congratulate. So Azure Games, they will be launching on Ethereum. They had an AMA today, and the first game is going to be called the Legion and Legends. So I want to see what ends up happening with that. Another thing is MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy is still continuing to buy more of Bitcoin. So they end up buying $10 million worth of Bitcoin. So we'll see how this ends up working out. Their averaging is coming, I would say their average is coming down some, but it might actually be going up a little because they bought under 10,000 twice. They bought over 20,000. So that average is kind of in the middle. And then when you have 20,000, goes up a little, but it does help as we continue forward. They also don't have another choice. When you're this deep into Bitcoin, you have to keep buying, and you have to have a strong gut feeling and have a lot of knowledge and have inside things if you're going to continue to do this. So the notion has to be strong with that. Brazil's largest bank will allow clients to end up buying Bitcoin. So that's another story that we want to continue to pay attention to, because if Brazil's biggest bank is doing this, other countries around the world are doing this. It is extremely early. We are still very early in this whole game. And these are the times where people end up making the most money. You don't make all your money in the bull market. You make it right now in the bear market, finding the right ones that'll be strong during the bull market. I know I've seen a good amount of people in different cryptos that ended up moving up during the bull market. For example, winners that at least Shift Movement had were Cody, Utrust was another one, Ultra was another one. I know Ban helped me start the company itself, so I always got to salute and shout out to them. If you look at my name all the time, is it still there? Yeah, I'll always shout out Ban, because Ban Protocol, when they hit Coinbase, that changed everything. For me, it's when I was like, all right, we can make this work. That was when the Coinbase pumps were stupid back then. Another thing, just going into what I'm looking forward to and what I'm looking into and researching during this market, Metis just got put on Coinbase, so that's a big thing for me. Another thing is Unison. They just got $200 million in a funding round, so that's something else you want to continue to look at. Luxo, after hearing them talk, I'm more bullish on Luxo. If you're out in Europe, tune in, because they're about to be speaking again. Marjorie will be speaking at that. I didn't get to meet Marjorie at the NFT NYC, so that is my next goal, to end up meeting Marjorie as well. Elif Zero, that's probably one of my bigger bags that I have, and it's something I'm going to continue to end up picking up more of. They are also coming out with their smart contracts, and then NFTs will be on their blockchain. So I do want to see what ends up happening there. Of course, Solana, because I have so many Solana NFTs, and what would I be without Solana, especially wearing the shirt. And Near Protocol. Near Protocol is another one that should do well during the next bull market. And we are excited to end up seeing what ends up happening in the future of what does happen with all of these cryptos, but also cryptocurrency itself, seeing when this ETF will end up coming out too. Let me get 1 second and we'll end up seeing what's happening.
Whitelist project. What projects right now are you hunting for whitelist for your audience?
Here's some alpha.
Just flat out projects that I haven't heard of before. So I am not, in the next couple weeks, there's not one that really stands out. The Bloomberg's that's been on lit is it's big compared to the other projects. Like, it definitely is big compared to the other projects, but then there's Cheddar, there's it's definitely, you guys are in my mind is, the most apparent buy that I can think of. But for everything else, I don't see one that's really standing out. It's more like, I haven't heard of you before. Come here, let's do something. So, yeah.
I love it. What about you? What about you, Whitelist Project?
Yeah, Yeah. Ironically enough, recently we've not been looking for a bunch of new partners in terms of supporting their mints.
So we'll leave that on just so I can hear. I don't know if they'll end up calling me to end up talking during this section, but if they do or don't, two big ones that I'm of course looking into is Duppies, and then that's with D-Gods, and then Cheddar Block Games. Those are the big two that I'm looking at. Something else, so SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, is currently in the process of looking into how he can buy Robinhood. I was texting one of my buddies, and that's a big thing. If he can end up buying or acquiring Robinhood, because it'll get so much more trust. When you have a cryptocurrency company acquiring Robinhood, that'll be huge. But something else with that is, imagine all those investors that invested in Robinhood, and for you to take that over, insane the amount of money you'll end up just winning, just like that. So I want to see them. They also are with BlockFi, and that's something that I want to let everyone know about. Continue to monitor BlockFi because they just got a line of credit from FTX. They have more liabilities than assets. That's another thing, and especially like all the loans and stuff that are going on. So I do want to see what ends up happening in terms of BlockFi as well. Going into some other things that I just want to say, and I mentioned this before, but Cheddar Block Games will be minting on July 6th. I got to meet, as I mentioned before, Alt, Etherium, and CAD Crypto. It was very exciting meeting them and being able to talk to them, see them, just hang with them for a second was great. Meeting everybody there was good. If I didn't get to meet you, I'm hoping to see you all at another event because it was cool. It was a great time. I can say I know what to get myself into and what to do better next time because this is the first time I went to it, but it's something that was exciting. I'll also do more recording because it seems as though we got a good reception from that. Steven being at home and asking me questions and me just walking, showing you all everything. So we'll try and do more things just like that. Let's hear what they're saying.
Well, let me put it this way. Like, do I know about it? Absolutely. Have I read it? Absolutely. Do I understand it? I barely understand tokenomics to itself, and that's already.
So going over into the sports, I got to congratulate the Colorado Avalanche. They get their flowers. Of course, you got to give them their flowers for what they did. They beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, and people thought maybe are the Tampa Bay Lightning about to come back. They did not come back in this one. So congratulations to them. Another kudos goes out to Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard just agreed on, or will be agreeing on, a 2-year extension for $100 million. Man's about to get that dumb money. He's staying in Portland. I don't care what anybody says. A type of contract like that, you're staying there and you're trying to look for people to come there. But it also does make you think his focus might be on but his main focus is going to be on continuing to uplift the Oregon, Portland area. And I don't necessarily know if championships are the main thing, which he's big for the community. I would love to see him get a ring, but he's not winning a ring in Portland. I'm sorry to say it. There are too many other good teams that are out there. Another thing that was on the list that I'll bring up now, but John Wall is going to go to the LA Clippers. I don't know if that's a major thing. If John Wall can be the John Wall before, and you have John Wall, you have Kawhi Leonard healthy and Paul George, that's a pretty good team. I do want to see what they end up doing there too. So we'll see what happens with them. As I mentioned before, but saying it now, another big backcourt just happened in the East. So you have DeJounte Murray and you have Trae Young together. They traded 3 first-round picks plus some. What? That is insane. And then another trade that happened was Monty Morris and Will Barton are going to the Washington Wizards, and then the Wizards are sending Ish Smith and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP, to the Nuggets. So I do want to see what ends up happening in that regard. Another thing is people are starting to become interested in Bradley Beal. Of course, there's been different rumors, so we'll see. Kyrie Irving, they had rumors around him. So I do want to see what ends up happening, seeing who ends up going where. When free agency starts, it's about to just be a wild, wild west free-for-all. So I'm looking forward to see how that ends up going. David Fizdale is going to become the associate GM of the Utah Jazz. Congratulations to him. He's paid his dues. He deserves it. So I'm excited to end up seeing what ends up happening as well there. Something else, and I don't bring up this a lot in terms of like the sneaker game and shoes and stuff like that, but LeBron 20s, they got these pink ones. They look similar to the Kyrie Irving. I mean, not the Kyrie Irvings, the Kevin Durant's, the Kobe's. They're pretty nice. I don't know if I'll pick them up because I have other shoes that I have to pick up, like my dad's shoes, literally the dad shoes I wear. The Air Maxes I have to get. So those are ahead of the LeBrons, but those are some dope shoes. And the trial for Deshaun Watson just started, and it'll be continuing for a minute. It's not going to be a short trial. The Browns want, of course, 0 games, but that's a negotiating tactic. And the NFL wants a lengthy suspension, clearly because of all the shit that happened. The Houston Texans have lawsuits out on them too. So we will see what ends up happening with all of this. That'll be a big story because who's going to be the quarterback there? Of course, Jacoby Brissett, they're saying might end up being the starter. You have Baker Mayfield that doesn't end up wanting to be. What is this?
Goes into our Discord and starts a ticket. We've just hired Seabass. He's going to be coming and cooking you a 3-course meal and giving you.
Okay, that was Pixel Band talking, but Baker Mayfield doesn't want to be on the Cleveland Browns, so we'll see what ends up happening there too. But so you have that story. What's going to happen with the AFC West, one of the strongest divisions that are out there? What's going to happen with the NFC South, because they normally don't have a repeat winner over there. As it was a recent, and it was kind of a little bit different. The NFC East, what's going to happen there with some of the different receiver cores that are shaking up there? How is AJ Brown going to do? What is CeeDee Lamb going to do? How are the Commanders going to do with Carson Wentz? What's going to happen in New York? Is Saquon going to be Saquon? What's going to happen on the offense and defense there? What's going to happen with the AFC North? How is that going to turn out between the Browns, the Bengals, the Ravens, any of those teams, the Steelers? I wasn't forgetting them. It's more so it's just going to be interesting there. Yo, honestly, just listening to you guys and just hearing about the different projects that you guys are talking about too. So that's mainly what I've been paying attention to, and just hearing everyone's insights. So this is kind of the first time I've seen some of the speakers up here. So soaking in all the knowledge that you guys have too.
Appreciate you coming up here and hanging out. Whenever we do have some like product sharing or like project sharing, you've always got the right questions to ask too. So more than what to say, man. Hey, did we finish on Plantoids before? Did you guys get everything up? I think you might have.
Well, actually, I did want to respond to Moon and his hesitancy.
See, told you. That's what happened. So I'll probably get off of this in a second so I can end up listening to them for a little bit more. But what happens in the NFL is going to be big. What happens in the NBA is going to be important, because both of these off seasons are going to be a key time. I'm going to keep talking about FIFA World Cup too, because that's another thing that's going to be out there. So we'll end up seeing what happens. That's mainly it. Next week hopefully we'll have Steven back. He might be on his hangover from his vacation, but that's about it. It was a shorter episode today because I just wanted to give you guys the meat, no fluff, and just update everything. We did a long Twitter Spaces as well. It was damn near 2 hours we were there. So 2 hours over there having this. Just looking forward to continuing to see what happens as we continue to go forward. But I'll catch you all later on. Hayes, aka AO Shifty, got to get back on this 12 plus hours. For everyone out there, it's Cheddar Block Games. We got Block Stars, Rug Remnants, Pixel Band, Moon Rovers. We got 2 Foot Crypto, the Whitelist Project, NFT Folio. So I'll give them a follow real quick. Plantoids is up there. And yeah, that's what we got. So shout out to them. We don't got a would you rather or anything like that. We'll tune into that next week. It's been one of those days. But hey, sports is about to be over. It's just going to be baseball. Shout out to the way Aaron Judge be slinging that bat. because googly moogly, holy cannoli, in the words of Klay Thompson. Another thing is, what the hell are the Angels doing throwing the goddamn seeds? But that's it. We out. Hayes, aka Shifty. Shout out them D guys. Hopefully everyone gets better. Peace.